And we're back. So, before we get back into things, let's do a quick talk about the hub and assumed competence and threat levels. The the higher the threat level on runs goes, the lower or the less things you're going to be able to get away with things like assumed competence. For example, when we just had, hey, you want to drive me by my house? It was a quick reality check of, you do realize you don't know these people. They are paid killers in some aspect of things, and what you do is not legal. So letting them know where you sleep and are completely undefended at the end of the night is, you sure you want to do that? Because to my knowledge, none of the players here are actually professional criminals. You may be. Please don't say if you are, because then I become an accessory. Um, so certain things like that your character would know that your player doesn't are kind of covered under the assumed competency aspect. Like, I'm going to go ahead right now and assume that if any of you all have grenades, they're not set to be wirelessly activatable, because that's dumb. That's a good way for a hacker to blow up your pants. So, when
Yep.
situations that are contrary to that, like, you actually set them to wireless, it's kind of a thing of like, oh, by the way, um, just to kind of get that out there as this is a higher threat run. So when you get into the more dangerous aspects of it, that kind of unfair to throw a bunch of lower karmic. I don't want to say unfair because that's not true. Um, just be kind
Vindictive or
of
mean?
aware of your surroundings, and sometimes the burned hand teaches best.
I've already lost one character.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, and we almost lost a couple of characters last night.
Oh yeah, I was surprised that
Yeah.
we all got out. So
Yeah. Um. So, Scott was asking questions on whether or not Diana Walsh's family members are alive, and they are. She has a brother who is older, who is 19. His name is. Nope, that's a dumb name. His name is Calvin. And if you guys want to write this right on the back table, you are more than welcome to.
Let's get this started. Okay.
So have we agreed that we're gonna reconvene at 12 at the hospital or here where we are now?
I would say somewhere close to the hospital, but not exactly at the hospital.
Sure. I get on my Rude will get on his badass scooter and drive home.
So totally
Wait,
not Shadowrunner.
you have a scooter? You have a scoot?
It's a motorcycle with a seat and a place for my feet.
So
are you a
you have a
troll?
Dodge scooter?
It's the
Are-
Echo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
The Magicians don't get very many new in.
Oh no, it's amazing. I didn't even think about that. That's awesome. Oh, I should have gave you a hard time.
I assume that the hospital would be in KE jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay, what is the family social status? Like their earning potential and so on and so forth?
Um. So you would have their general place on where they live. They also live in Bellevue. Um, in the as I apparently have closed that tab. Um, because it had all the nice little districts on here because I don't actually remember what that is. Um, they live in. Let's go with Newport. It's like a B area.
Hmm. Ah, I see.
Okay, so they live in Newport. Where is that? Newport. Okay, so it's a single A.
According to the wiki page that I am looking at, Newport in Bellevue is a B section. Or I'm sorry, it's actually in both. They live in the B section of Newport. I don't know how that breaks down farther than just the district, but um,
And right next to where it says Newport on the map, there's an A next to it and a B south of it. So
yep. So they live on the B side.
All right.
I'm going to leave my Dobermans at home
Probably not a bad idea.
because they have illegal software. And then I will go and meet everybody at our pre-disclosed location.
Noodle shop.
Pretty much.
I'll pack everything into Root will pack everything into his trench coat, minus his weapons, and just go with that back at the meeting location.
do we know if they have any corporate affiliations?
That's a good question. Let me mull that for a second. 'Cause I think I had something somewhere in one of my notes. What is AG Chemi Europa?
Number 3 pharmaceutical company in the world.
Okay.
It is actually, it's basically a shell corporation that operates subsidiaries of Saterkrupp and ZIC as a partnership. But I think the whole point of it is that it's kind of a deniable asset.
So they have been known to do some drug testing trials for AG Europa, AG Chemi Europa, for new treatment options.
So, I don't mean the hospital.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were talking the.
I was talking about the parents, but yes, that's good to know for the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
that would explain a lot too.
So not direct, like they're not corporate limited centers. They have been. I'm kind of trying to decide whether or not this would be something that the reporter guy would have. Um, they have been known to be contracted. The father seems rather adept at the electronical arts, um, coding and software and that kind of thing. The mother was until, let's say, 18 years ago. Um, Nothing super interesting as far as her work background, Stuffer Shack in her teenage years, some other little places, and then kids, married, housewife.
Okay, so based on that, we can assume they're probably like a middle lifestyle.
From their location and from some of that, maybe on the higher end of the middle lifestyle, but yes.
And they are not currently affiliated with a corporation specifically.
Not that the information from your reporter associate is aware of. Hmm. While everybody's giving a quick think, two of my favorite things in all of the world, especially when it comes to Shadowrun, are tropes and cliches. Hence why my description of the hospital earlier was everything that I've ever seen from House or the few times I've been to a hospital. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind when doing ridiculous plans, like being shot out of a cannon.
I
I get the feeling that one's going to hang around for a while.
Okay, so I have a question for you regarding how character sheets and Chummer work.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So my knowledge skill says that I have 8 dice pool, right?
Okay.
Does that include all of my qualities and mods?
No.
Depends on what they are.
The answer is
If you
maybe.
actually, if you actually go to where the number itself is, the hard line black lace number, I believe you can hover either over that or over the front one. It used to. It might not anymore. Yeah, it doesn't do that anymore. Do you have mnemonic enhancers?
I have mnemonic enhancers, I have analytical mind, I have photographic memory.
I do not believe that analytical mind or photographic memory counts in, but I know mnemonic enhancers do.
Those are correct statements.
Yep.
I also have a cerebral booster, so I assume that applies to my logic skill, right?
If it
Yes,
is
that
a
should show up as.
logic-related knowledge skill, yes.
Yeah, because your logic score should show up modified under your common tab. As long as it does that, then that one's working.
What about that matrix search?
Oh, that is limited interest or not publicized. Um, on the hospital, right?
That's correct.
It's,
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it's put on
Okay.
there.
Under limited interest or not publicized information, you're going to come up with some neat things. One, there is a new, I don't know if they would call them like sub-directors, but there's a new head of the. See, this is what I get for not having like actual hospital experience and watching, Grey's Anatomy and all the House that I can get my hands on. Oh no, screw it. I'll just use House. There's a new director of diagnostic medicine, and this is great. Or I'm sorry, I should throw a doctor on here. Thank you, random name generator, for stopping on a perfect name.
Awesome, 0 successes. That did not do well.
So, do I have? Is there law firms? So I have this crazy thing that I think you will find incredibly useful in your Shadowrunning career. I'll just go ahead and leave that there for you. It is a random name generator for various businesses. Let's see. Auto dealers, banks, clothing apparel. So let me ask you this. Does Scout have any criminal organization ties?
No.
Okay. That's unfortunate. We would have had some fun there. But, yeah, you can go ahead and just make up 3 law firms that you want, because it's not an opposed test, so it's not like a failure. It's just going to take you a little while of Googling a publicly viewable Matrix host site to
Shyster and Hackett?
I mean, if you wanted to hack it, you could hack it or get
No. That's the law firm name. Shyster and Hackett.
Oh god.
Of course. Of course it is.
I love everything about it in its own terribleness. So yep, we'll go with. Can you go ahead and spell that out for me, Shang, and put it on the table? This is where I get my notes for the AAR that I'm forced to write.
Yeah, I can do that.
Excellent. Yep, there's your best, closest thing. What do you guys want to do? We haven't heard from, let's say, Scooter or Knockout in a little while doing anything other than
Well-
contributing witty names for stuff.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I was going to be picking up everybody and have us do a drop on all that sort of stuff.
Let me also, I guess, go back to Root for a second. You have the information of Dr. John B. Morals. He came in about a month ago. What other kind of stuff would you be curious about?
Who would be the head of psychological medicine? Head of psychological medicine.
Uh,
I imagine there would probably be either a psychologist or a psychiatrist at the head of that. So it would either be an MD or a PSY.
You're using a lot of TLAs, and I don't think I understand them all. Which is the one that can write you scripts?
Psychologist.
Psychiatrist.
Well,
Psychiatrist is an MD. Psychologist is a PhD.
That's
Okay.
right.
She is the one that can write prescriptions.
I mean, certified nurses can write prescriptions too.
I mean, I don't even know if there is such a distinction in the sixth world, just because everything is so, like, screw you guys, I'm gonna make my own rules.
Well, think therapist versus doctor.
Right, but, like, then there's the sixth world, the wonderful dystopian thrown on top of it.
But both of those that you said could both write scripts. Needless to say, I don't think they have prescription pads these days.
No, it would be little AR things, of course, because,
Knockout has very little that she can contribute to this particular equation at
I
the
know,
exact
like-
moment.
Without being there, I can't really do a whole lot either.
Sure, we can zoom ahead.
How do I put text on the board?
So on the little bar all the way on the left, there is the arrow, there is a box, and then there is an eye that has a little dropout thing that comes out of it. And one of them is a... Oh god, no. No, Shank, stop. That's terrible. Use the text box like a human. God damn. But yeah, no, if you guys want to zoom ahead to when you're there-ish, we can do that.
It's really up to everybody else if they think they're ready.
I can't.
Okay.
I mean, I'd much rather be there before I start mucking about astrally, because then I'll have backup if things go bad.
Oh, the tricks just never go bad.
Well, of course. But I'm not playing my Ars Magica character with 3 ranks in the optimism flaw, so I don't have to be overly optimistic about things.
Okay, so I am going to make a couple of calls. First, I'm going to call Mr. Lindahl in Auburn.
Alright, who is this guy?
He is a corporate scientist for AG Chemi.
Okay. You want to go ahead and roll up his connection times 2 plus loyalty? We'll see what he comes up with. I'm sorry, what did you say his name was?
Arnold Lindahl.
There it is. I was hearing Vindal like a Vin Diesel.
No.
You get one more die in there because it's connection times 2 plus loyalty. That's how 99% of.
Oh, I thought you said I thought you said connection times 2 times loyalty.
No. Sorry.
Should I just roll it as 7, or should I roll
You can just
one
roll
more?
one. All right. So with 4 hits, the first question I have is, what does he usually require from you for information?
Uh, no, I recruited him.
Okay. So,
But I guess that would depend on how sensitive it is.
yeah, that'll depend upon what you're trying to get out of him too. But I wasn't sure if you had like a
If there are
previous
currently any
arrangement.
drug trials running at the hospital that he knows about.
So he'll what does he do there? He's just like an egghead.
He's a pharmaceutical chemist.
Okay. Um. So he will come back with a little bit of information that at the moment there have been requests for a new medical sounding word. Um. That is an ongoing trial there in one of their psychiatric. I guess they would call them wards, which sounds weird because wards has a completely different aspect
Wink.
associated with it now that magic is back, right?
Right.
And assuming you will then follow up that question with what does it do?
Right. What is it intended to treat?
Um, so its intended treatment is to kind of help with people who are having trouble staying grounded in reality, but more so on the like not so much in seeing things that aren't there, but in that seeing things that are there but not in the physical. Um, kind of like the reverse of deep weed.
Hmm.
But
So, like,
Huh.
stopping somebody from astrally perceiving.
yeah, kind of. They haven't had a lot of luck with it because obviously people who are magically active aren't exactly the kinds that want their mojo messed with, and they're still working on some of the side effects. Not quite like full on zombie, but definitely kind of like you become easily distracted, kind of floaty, and just kind of like wander around in a daze.
Is this just while the chemical is active, or is this permanent?
It is not permanent, but it is the kind of thing that it's got to work its way out of your system, and dependent upon how long you've been on it and uh, your varied things, it may take a while. Your various biometric BMI, medical words, metabolism. That was another one that
Right.
Mm-hmm.
there was a Doctor House episode, which I feel like Doctor House can be referenced a lot today. Where the kid was getting sick off of some gas that like termites exist or rotting things. And when he went to the hospital, he kept getting worse because he had been exposed to the chemical for so long that it was stored within his fat cells. And as the hospital food sucked, his body metabolized the fat cells, releasing more of the poison into his system.
Yep.
So
Oh.
it's the kind of thing where, like, if you are on this drug for an extended period of time, it could get stored like in your fat cells, which would then take longer for it to burn out. Um,
All right. Thank you for the information, Arnold, and have a great day.
he's like, you're gonna put this on my report, right?
Absolutely.
Is the Q-36 isotope? Or the...
The what?
I don't know how people classify medical stuff, but that's the name of the thing.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. It's a good thing to keep up with.
Okay, so I'm thinking that if we're going to be in there and we're going to be in their systems, we might as well be grabbing as much information as we can while we're there. So I'm thinking that that might be something that we could sell back to Brent, because it's possible that somebody, high profile is going to this low profile hospital for some kind of mental illness treatment.
Possibly. Okay. So fast forward to when we're there, or
I want to make another call. I'm going to
Sure.
call the hospital.
What time of the day do you wish to call?
8:30 in the morning.
Okay, so you're trying to get the volunteers right as they show up.
Right.
Do you want the phone to be ringing before they show up in a very dramatic, they walk in the door, the phone's ringing, or do you want to do
Yes,
it like...
please.
Okay, perfect. So you can't see it, but there's some lovely old ladies who kind of totter in through the sliding doors, and the phone is ringing dramatically. And like, oh, dearie! And the fast old lady hobble around the counter and Tender Heart Medical Facility.
This is just voice. This is not a video conference.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to modulate my voice a little bit.
Sure. You want to roll me like an impersonation or something?
Sure.
Unless you have fancy cyberware to do it. That, I believe, gives bonus dice. And did the Skype call die, or...
no. I don't know. I was sitting there waiting on him to talk, and then nothing.
Does first impression only work in person?
No.
So I will give you the option. You may either apply it here and then not apply it later on if you physically meet these people, or you can apply it later. It's
Okay, I'll hold off.
sure. And if you do a
Generous.
funny accent to be the person you're impersonating, I'll give you 2 extra dice. But you have to take it through the whole conversation.
I like that rule.
Is that with or without the funny dice? The funny voice dice?
That is without.
Ah, you disappoint me, but that's
How many bonus?
I'm
How
also
many bonus dice
disappointed.
do I get?
2.
But you got to do the voice the whole bit.
Do it.
Damn.
It's all right. So, old lady has answered the phone.
Hi, this is Scott Walker from Cairn Cross and Hempler.
Is that an actual place, or I'm sorry, is that one of the
It's a law firm.
law firm? Let me roll some dice and see if she knows what that is off the top of her head.
It's either going to be really high pool or really low pool.
So, oh yes, dearie, how can I help you this morning?
Hang on.
Yes, I'm calling on behalf of Sean Terrio. He is trying to set up an appointment to meet with Miss Diane Walsh's physician.
All right, just a moment. And you can't hear the pitter-patter of clicking, but it's that awkward AR silence of somebody searching something on a computer terminal. And then she's like, "Do you have the right facility? I'm not seeing a Diane Walsh in my system."
Fairly certain we have the right facility. She was admitted into the behavioral health unit for an eating disorder.
Give me a moment. and then you can't see it, but two very adorable old ladies have a worried conversation about how technology and kids these days. So then she's gonna be like, "Oh, yes, I see she was admitted like about 3 weeks ago," and she'll give you the date. However, and it's that like that strain of trying to look at something that's small and you can't really read, but it's digital, so it's kind of really awkward. That she's no longer in that unit. I imagine then she got discharged.
Do you have her discharge paperwork?
Oh, hold on. And then let me I'm gonna actually roll a matrix search in here.
All 2d6 of it.
A little bit higher than that, thank you very much. So you're gonna be waiting what feels like a literal eternity, because it takes her the full minute of this matrix search to find the paperwork. It's like, yes, I have it here. Seems like the paperwork was signed by a Dr. Morals. Such a nice gentleman.
Was this a clinical discharge or a voluntary discharge?
There's another awkward silence as she looks at the digital readout. Looks like it's just discharged. Somebody might have forgotten to fill the proper paperwork out. Oh, dearie me.
And what was her status at the time of discharge?
This is the part where Rob doesn't know. Like, volunteer lady would have an idea, but Rob does not know what your. What do you mean by her condition?
Was she recovered? Was she in serious condition? Was she now an outpatient?
Gotcha. Just says discharged. We could go.
Thank you. I'll make sure Mr. Terrio informs the family.
I'm sorry, who did you say you were?
Cut transmission.
She is so old and just cute and adorable, and you're just gonna hang up her on like that, you monster.
Hey, I work for a law firm. My time is worth money.
That's a good point.
You say that before you hang up.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna hang up on you, but I wanted you to know why.
6-minute increments.
What was the name that you used to call the place as?
Scott Walker.
Is that one of your sins?
No.
All right.
Shontario is.
And that's the patient.
That's the doctor.
Doctor.
Or that's the lawyer.
Sean Terrio.
All right. Yeah, I have made some notes.
Wow.
And by the way, it was Karen Cross and Hempelman, not Hempler. I misread.
Yeah. No, when I saw that it was written on the table, I imagined that you went with that.
Okay.
So I guess we go there and see if we can get Roots to root some stuff out.
And I'll check it out astrally.
Sure. So you
Sounds
guys
good.
do the slow-mo drive-by.
Okay.
Yeah, probably go go around one time, act like we'd. Well, it's a hospital, so the parking lot layout has to be confusing.
I approve of this statement.
And so I'm going to slowly drive around the parking lot acting like I'm trying to figure out where I need to go and just kind of like go in and out just constantly. Just like I have no idea where I'm going.
I really wish I could do this on my scooter right now.
And if you want me to make a stealth test, I can.
I believe you have the subtle you have subtle aircraft.
Yes. Uh, yeah.
All right, I have an important question that will inform your character for the rest of his life. Ready?
I'm getting groundcraft here soon. Don't worry.
No. This is better. Do you have handicap plates on your car?
Oh, it would be on the AR feed. Yes.
Okay. Just wondering.
Maybe not currently, but I would have them uploaded.
Would you have them broadcasting when you're driving around there?
No, God no.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and just roll me like a? Oh, do you have etiquette? Because I feel like this is etiquette.
I do have etiquette, not
Yeah,
much, but
You
have
want to
it.
go ahead and roll that as you try to socially infiltrate the guy looking for a parking spot, but doesn't want to sit. Doesn't want to take the expectant mother's parking lot or the. So I forget the word for the other one. Okay. So while you're Rocco's Modern Lifing, Root and Caretaker, what do you guys want to do?
I'm going to astrally project.
Okay. The mundane world slips away, and you are greeted by the dull grays and vibrant colors of the astral.
I mean, first things first. I'll look around around the building, see if there's anything I should be particularly concerned about.
Sure. You will notice that there is a whole bunch of just like life, but in the way of plants and other small creatures in the not courtyard, but you know what I mean? Like nice manicured lawns, that kind of thing. What is your tradition?
Christian theurgy.
And that is charisma based, right?
Yes.
So this place just in general feels stuffy. Do you have like a magical traditions or something along those lines?
I have magic theory. I don't know if I have traditions. Let me check.
You can roll the theory. We'll see.
Okay.
It's not a super high check, but
Well, I don't have a lot of magic theory,
sorry.
so this ought to be fun.
Is now a good time to mention that Knockout is a magical school dropout?
Hogwarts didn't have a punching program, so you.
Pretty much yes, actually.
So, with your magical theory, you've run into this kind of feeling before. Places like schools, universities, libraries, has a very hermetic impact on the area. It does also have a bit of a healing and rejuvenation feel to it.
Okay.
It is a little bit of a background count out here in the parking lot. You're looking at like a 1 or a 2, depending on how close you are, just because it is it is not of your tradition.
Okay.
But there doesn't seem to be any anything out of the ordinary really out here.
All right. No wards, no patrolling spirits.
Not on the outside of the building, no.
All right. Let's go inside then.
Whereabouts would you like to try and go inside? We got about a 5-story building, and then there's a small auxiliary building that has a breezeway connecting them. Less of an actual enclosed breezeway, more of like one of those things they have over the gas station pumps.
Yeah.
so that you'll not get rained on when going by. And there's a few other hospital things like a helipad and a small garage that has um, like one, maybe two ambulances or hospital use vehicles, that kind of thing.
Sure. We had her room number where she was supposed to be,
Hmm.
but she isn't. But we know that she isn't there anymore. But that's where she was, right? Like 502 or something.
404.
404. I want to try and head there. So fourth floor.
Sure. Um, you can kind
Uh,
of. Are you like whooshing through the main building? Are you going straight through the wall? Are you?
I'm just gonna go straight through the wall,
Okay.
and I'm gonna keep keep an eye out for potential mana barriers for spirits and things that might be looking for me.
Sure. Uh, Good news, you can go through the wall. Bad news, you're not coming out the other side. You have run into a barrier, like right kind of in the middle of the wall.
Okay. Well, I'm going to sense the mana barrier.
Sure. Let me go ahead and roll your sensing. Let me scroll down here to the important table section. So with 3 hits, your magic 6.
6.
It is equal magic to your own. I'm sorry. Its force is equal to your magic.
Mhm.
It is a anchored, I think, is the term for longtime wards.
All right.
Um,
So it's. I mean, that would make sense. You wouldn't want to keep having to recast a ward
yeah.
for a structure like this.
And you are now able to do things as you have seen the aura.
Okay.
Like
I
if
don't know what that.
like if you sense somebody else down the line and they have this,
Right.
like you would be able to identify. Oh, this is
I
them.
have the astral signature of the mage who cast the
Yes.
ward. All right. Um. Okay. I'm gonna. How far down does it go? I guess I could ask that.
Okay, so you're just gonna kind of feel it out and get its general idea.
Yeah.
All right, you want to go ahead and give me a navigation roll as you kind of poke and prod at it, and Root, you want to go ahead and start up some of your Matrix bullshit.
Yes.
Okay. That's 2. Okay, so apparently somebody's very upset in Root's household, so he'll be going to text stuff. So I'll answer his questions. Yes, there are definitely cameras all over the place. They seem to be rating 3 cameras.
Oh,
Man, Force 8 crack spite, eh?
Yep.
Sorry. Edge does not work that way, sir. Oh, so lucky.
what's the
So
fate on that gonna be?
4. Forfeit is all he's got to worry about. Luckily
It's
for
not
him.
bad.
No. It could have been way worse.
Yeah. When I saw it was Force 8, I was like, oh man.
Like he could have been in the car right now and then just suddenly unconscious.
Nice. Quick what he needed.
Yep. Nah, that's lucky him. Yep. You want to go ahead and roll out your Force 7? I'll be sure to. How you feeling about that? You think good. I love it when people try to hack things with no edge. It warms my cold black heart.
It does. It really
Oh, and
does.
he only has 2?
Oh, no.
Delicious.
Well, let's hope he doesn't need it.
Yeah. So, good news. You have 3 tasks. Oops, I'm on the wrong layer. And 6 boxes of stun, it looks like. Or I'm sorry, 6 boxes of physical. Because that was over your resonance.
Oh no!
Wouch.
Yeah. And you can't heal that.
Anything but time.
Yep, no.
Yeah.
That's. So, I'm going to imagine Root is doing this in AR. Because that's. Kind of makes sense. So, you guys will see a bit of blood begins to leak out of his various head orifices.
So you've got a mage slumped over an astral and then a technomancer who's starting to bleed slowly.
A decker.
And a rigger leaning in his chair unconscious.
We have an AR decker suffering from what appears to be a mild case of biofeedback.
Sure.
Um,
I don't know he's a mancer in character.
yeah.
I also don't know he's bleeding in character, because I'm still astral.
Still off in the middle of nowhere. Whooshing around. I guess you could roll out his actions, but what I'm going to need from you is an initiative roll for him, because they get a combat turns worth of matrix actions per task you spend. So, dependent upon his initiative will depend upon how many things you can get before you need to spend an additional task. The good news, I think, is that his initiative is probably pretty good. It would be / roll 14 plus XD6 in this case. 38.
Man.
All right.
Sorry about that. That was wrong.
No, that's fine. You may go ahead if you wish to roll his hack on the fly. And I will take a quick look at this thing here and see that social media, small colleges, universities, local police, and international poly clubs are a 5 to 6 rating host.
The his initiative is actually just 31. He didn't get 76. He gets 46.
No, he still gets his base initiative attribute, though. It's not just a D6. D6s, sorry.
Yeah, but I did 14 plus 76, and it should have been 14 plus 46.
Oh, it's 31, not 38. Gotcha.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not going to matter a huge amount because it's still the same number of passes, actions. Well, good news, I guess. You have more attempts, but your sprite does not have a mark on the camera.
I guess he'll be trying it again for his second task.
No, he gets, with 31 initiative, he'll get four matrix actions per task.
Okay. He'll just try it again then.
Sure.
Holy crap.
Man. Quit rolling so well, Rob.
This is why I roll everything openly.
Oh man.
You're not playing Boomhilda. You're not playing Boomhilda. You're not allowed to get good successes.
Boomhilda rolls more dice than that.
I know. But every time you roll, you always get really high.
Well, this thing's gonna do what he's ordered, and he's gonna keep trying until his initiative runs out. Man.
I mean, that's just kind of funny at this point. Because it's like it drops its successes way down to
If they tie, he doesn't get a mark, right?
correct. You actually, in fact, have 3 marks on your sprite.
Yeah. Well, is he getting another shot, or is he done skis?
He has a 4th action for this this task.
And then IC comes and kills him.
He's not in the host, so good news.
Oh,
Ice
okay.
can't come and kill him.
Sure. He'll do one more attempt, and then he'll roll initiative for the next phase. Oh boy. Oh man.
Stop it, Rob.
I'm out of edge.
Yeah, no, that's a bitch. You're out of edge and you're down 6 physical boxes. Can you go ahead and roll me? I guess it's just 14 dice because it's a sprite. All other stuff is like level. And I will go ahead and roll. Okay. We can go ahead with just with the 31 again. I'll be benevolent to allow you to get 4 more matrix actions out of your sprite.
Okay. He's man. He needs at this point. He might as well just brute force. He's gonna try it again.
Okay.
I have to do everything this turn, and then he gets dismissed because he has a ton of Overwatch score now.
Oh my god.
Like I can't even be mad.
No, this is just unlucky.
Yeah.
You want to give it another go?
He might. I kind of want to have him check his Overwatch score, honestly.
Sure. Let me take a quick look at what that actually is. Electronic warfare plus logic. Do Crack's Bites have E-War?
Yeah, that's why I chose him for the hack on the fly. Hit that and hacking.
Yeah, no, he may go ahead and roll that, and I will oppose with 6 massive dice.
You gotta be kidding me.
Uh, 27.
Okay. Hack on the fly.
Okay.
I'm gonna dismiss that little guy.
Sure. First, you're gonna need to roll me his 14 dice again. Man.
This is brutal. I gotta say, this is
pretty ridiculous.
That's a whole lot of ineffectual shenanigans just left and right here.
We'll
It's
rub.
a slap fight where the two participants aren't even like slapping each other's hands; they're just slapping the air in front of them.
Yeah.
Root will pull a tissue from his pocket and wipe the blood off of his orifices. He'll clear his throat. I'm having a little trouble on my side.
So while you make that humbling gesture, Caretaker, with your navigate, it's going to take you a little bit of time, just because you're poking and prodding.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the first floor is not covered in this ward, but the second through fifth floors are.
Okay.
Which can mean a great number of things.
Yeah. All right. What about the auxiliary building?
So as you approach that, you want to go ahead and give me another, like, a sensing, just to kind of like get the feel off of that.
That's
So as you come on over here, you will notice that there is actually a Watcher Spirit that's kind of looking abouts. Kind of can't really tell what it is they're doing, but it's it's there. Um, this area is a little less of that healing feeling and a little bit more of that hermetic feeling.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to delve too much deeper into it right now. I'm going to stop astrally projecting.
Sure, you will fly back over to your body. Scooter, you said you were VR.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, Root, can you go ahead and make me a perception test as you guys are driving around?
Well, I have sensors on my car as well, so.
Yeah. Your sensors are dumb, and I hate them.
Regular perception or matrix?
Regular. Ooh, time and space kind of alleviate themselves from your view. You will notice that the guy who was kind of standing in the... they have that double door set up in most big fancy business places? Where it's like...
Yeah.
The front door is opening, and there is a man in a what looks like a security guard uniform that is kind of casually walking out the front door.
Ooh, I believe Shang is driving, correct?
Scooter.
Scoot's driving.
Scooter, okay. And you're in VR. I know what that is. I will shoot. I'll send a message to your comlink, saying, I'll do DNI for it.
And if there are any questions you have, because you did get 1,000,000 successes.
Yeah, I will ask. The building itself. Looking around, how much actual surveillance and how much staff do I see going in and out of this place?
There are a couple of people that you will notice wearing like those standard blue scrubs. What they actually do in there is kind of hard to like. It's a big place. A lot of different aspects are going to have their own nurses. You don't see really like any let's call it security personnel, like no changing of shifts, nobody coming into work at this hour. As far as external surveillance, there are a couple of cameras that are just general overview of the area. In particular, the small auxiliary building seems a little bit more heavy on the cameras focusing on it. That and the garage.
The security guard himself. Can I notice what kind of defense he has on him? If he has like just a baton, taser, or anything like that?
Do you have any kind of firearms related knowledge or dice? You do.
Yeah, I just don't remember what they are.
You have 10 dice and firearms. You can go ahead and roll that, and we'll. So with 3 hits, you can identify the fact that in his holster is actually it is a pistol-shaped thing, but it looks more like an actual Ares Predator than like a pistol-shaped taser or something along those lines. Around his belt, there are a couple of clips of ammunition, which might be a difference of stick and shock gel. He probably doesn't have like actual lethal ammunition. But outside of that, the most dangerous thing is he has the right to use said things. And with 7 hits, you will notice that the little belt clippy thing over top of I think they call it like the hood of the pistol, is unsnapped.
Noted. Sent through DNI.
Okay. See, how do I want to do this?
Run him over with the car.
No. Scooter's going to actually pull up to him.
Do
And
you come out of VR first?
Yeah.
Okay. That's an important question, because like it doesn't make for good conversation. Before we get to that, I want to run a quick question by you guys. What do you have that's running silently?
Just it'd be my comlink and my RCC.
I
I'd
guess
have
it'd be
I'd have a burner comlink popping out fake sin.
Sure. Which, if you guys want to go ahead and type on the table which sins you're currently flying, in case it comes up later, you know.
Yeah, that's fine. You said put it on the table, or
Yeah, just so this way it's like a notes there.
I'm having a hard time. Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting this thing to actually type for me.
So
Yes.
it's kind of weird and takes a little bit of getting used to, just because it's like when you hit enter, it looks like it deletes all of your stuff, but it's not actually a.
No, like I couldn't even like get to the point where I could type.
Oh,
Like, I couldn't even press enter for it. It just worked though.
okay. And if you could also have which of your characters are running which big sins, and if you guys have anything. Oh, here's another quick. Root, is your living persona running silently? Okay. Oh, Jack Weber? Who's Jack Weber?
Scout.
And you're in the car?
No.
Okay. Whew. Let's move you up out of the way. Put all of these guys over here in a pile. So Root, if you want to go ahead and roll me your logic plus sleaze plus your lovely wound modifiers, I'm going to go ahead and roll a something else. No, they were. Oh, that'll be interesting.
Uh-oh.
Um, so Scoot, you said you were pulling up to this guy, right?
Yeah.
All right. So as you are driving up, he kind of gives you the wave of with his left hand, of just like a hey, how you doing kind of thing.
Yeah.
What is your plan of action?
I actually I sit up as straight as I can. Don't want it as angry of a face as I can. Now roll down the window.
Sure. Do you want to go ahead and roll me composure real quick, just to kind of see how cool, calm, collected you are?
Yep. Give me just a second.
I'll just keep that in mind.
Okay.
The ball is in your court, sir. You have driven on up to him.
Okay, I'm trying to think of how I want to play this.
Would you like a quick 5-minute break to? Because we have been going for almost another hour or so again.
That's up to you guys. That's y'all's call.
I mean, the 5-minute break would give you time to bounce ideas.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. You guys want to do that?
That works for me.
I should probably take a break.
Root needs one.
Awesome. Yeah, he can find a little
Go
bit
smother
of
his
bourbon
baby.
for the- You know, I was thinking it. I wasn't going to say it. All right. But yeah, no, we'll take 5, and we will be right back while we see what kind of wonderful tale Scooter begins to